Hello, I was going to try to make a live stream video today, but looks like that's not going to happen, at least not for a while. When I set this account up, I figured just giving them my phone number at the time would have let me do live streams whenever I wanted to, but it turns out I actually had to click on the button to say I wanted to do a live stream, and then I still have to wait another 24 hours. So that's kind of annoying. Anyway, so this is kind of gonna be one of the first, well, actually, it is going to be the first video on this other channel that I created. And I created this channel because I wanted to have a separate special interest kind of set of videos from my main channel, which I'm kind of using, which is more flat earth related kind of stuff. And this one here is going to be a little bit more ASMR like, where I'm just recording and I'm not really sure what I'm doing at the time, with long pauses like this. So anyway, so what happened today was that I went on Twitter and somebody had posted a comment asking me if anybody could help them get data off of an old audio cassette that was stored from an old ZX81 computer. And I had done something similar a little while back for my Radio Shack Color computer. And I decided I was going to look at the code to see if it was something that I could kind of clean up and put on GitHub maybe. And so that's where we are right now. So I just took the data off of one of the old backup drives that I had and turned it into an Eclipse project. And this is kind of where we are. So the way I had designed it, and I'll just run the application and you'll kind of get an idea of what it's about. So I had written this Java Swing application quite some time ago that takes unsigned byte files. So basically, if you take a WAV file, you can convert it to an unsigned byte format. You have to know what the bit rate is, etc. And for the sake of this application, bitrate really wasn't that important because I'm looking for transitions above and below the 0 volt reference line. And over the course of me going through my old audio cassettes and recording them on the computer and trying to get the data off of each one of them, I found more and more things that I kind of needed to do to get this thing up and running. And so I ended up having a lot of buttons and features, most of which I kind of forgot really how it worked. So kind of have to go digging through the code again to get an idea of how it worked. But so the idea is that it's looking for a file called in progress. And so when you load that, it uh, basically shows you a WAV file. It shows you the waveform. And this thing here that you see at the beginning is a kind of like a pulse that the cassette player introduced when the computer told the cassette player to turn the motor on. And so we kind of have to get rid of this. Now if I scan It does an effort to try to read the data, and in this case, it kind of detected A, B, A, so on and so forth. And it's probably a bit off. If I go looking at the specifications for the Coco 2 or the color computer, I'm supposed to have 120 bytes of hex 55. And so if you have one bit shifted over, 55 becomes AA. So I think how does this work? So yeah, so if edit, so if I click on here, I can say, how did this work? I'm trying to remember how it worked. I think I would go on this and I would say flatten maybe, and then I would try it again. And here it kind of got something a little bit more wrong, but if I keep fiddling with this, I should theoretically, well, let's just flatten all of this. I think I can kind of get rid of some of the leading stuff over here. And I think it might be looking at individual samples. So if I click on this, I think it's looking for maybe this sample. So now if I try scanning it again, now I'm a little bit off again. So the idea is to continue to get rid of that leading pulse until we get something that looks reasonably close. So now I've pretty much got the 128 bytes of 55 hex sorted out, and now the next thing is going to be the next blocks after that. So anyways, you would go through and try to look for the next block pattern, and if I jump ahead slightly, so if I zoom out and I can kind of jump ahead a little bit. Can't jump too far ahead. It ends up, as you keep going, it ends up restarting from the left edge here, or it shows you the left edge. Yeah, so I have to keep going like this. And so basically that would be the idea. So you would kind of, with that recording, you would load it in, and where necessary, you would possibly end up having to wave shape it a little bit, maybe smooth this out a little bit and try it again. Move on to the next thing, and I have code in here that takes advantage of the checksum somewhere. Somewhere in this code is the checksum, and it kind of tries to find the next error that might contain an error. So 3697 would probably be the error in question. So you would kind of maybe try something like that. So here I messed things up completely. So I could probably try to redo this or maybe just put it out as is and let somebody else who might know Java to see if they can clean it up for themselves. I don't have a need to use it anymore, but I did have something that was reasonably mostly there in case somebody else would need it. And so if you found this video from Twitter, because I am going to advertise this video on Twitter, probably through some keywords or whatever, some hashes, some hash keywords, whatever it's called. If you find this video because of that and you're looking for something similar to this, go ahead and leave a description in the comment below. Leave a comment in the description below, and we'll see what we can do. Um, it would be interesting if I have the time, and it really will depend on the time this winter, whether or not I'm going to turn this into something that somebody else can use, possibly even for, let's say maybe, what was it, the ZX81 was it? Yeah, the ZX81. So if somebody else wants to tweak this to make it work for the ZX81, that would be something that could be possibly doable. But I do remember when I was going through this, it was a laborious and very tedious process. However, I was able to get some really abused and used audio cassette tapes recorded and the data off of it. So there would be that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video at some point, possibly depending on when I can do this. So bye for now.